What's up, everybody? It's AJ with etrailer.com. Today we're going to be checking out the Swagman Race Ready. It's going to be a roof-mounted bike rack. It's going to go on your existing roof rack. It's really easy to install and get up there. It's going to hold one bike, and it's going to hold it by the tire, not the frame. So that means you don't have to worry about any kind of frame contact. That's why we got a carbon fiber one on there today. It's going to be just fine. Let's check it out. Taking a closer look at it, I just want to show you what I meant by no frame contact. You can see the wheel hook putting pressure down on the front tire. So it just ratchets down. You just push this button to release it. Let me hold on to the bike so I can show you. You push on that, you can lift it up and fold this out of the way when it's not in use. But when you're going to use it, you just bring it back up to here, the tire, aim for the middle of it, and ratchet it down. It's going to add that pressure, and I can shake it back and forth, and the bike's not going to go anywhere. Looking down at the bottom of the tire, we have a strap that goes around here too. Now this will slide back and forth, so you can adjust it to different wheel bases, and that's going to be the same for the back one. It has a pad built into it, so you don't have to worry about the strap coming in contact and damage the inside of your wheel or scratching anything. It's not going to do that. It's just fine. Behind that, we also have this for stabilization. This part goes up and around the tire. The back of the tire fits right in this groove here. It just helps keep it from wobbling back and forth while you're driving the road, and it does a really good job of it. Looking down here at the bottom, this is something I like about the rack, is how easy it is to install to your roof rack. You don't need any tools. You just have the hand knobs that you can loosen. Just like that. So when you go to install it or take it off, it's that easy to do. The no tools thing, it is really good because I've done quite a few of these bike racks, and it can be a pain to have that special tool you need for all the different things. Like you're gonna have a different tool for the roof rack, the bars. It's nice that you just don't need one for this part. You can throw it up there, tighten it down, and move on. Another thing they included that I like is that you can lock this tab or the button that you push down to release the bike. That way nobody can mess with it when you're not around. So you just turn the key, then that button can't be pushed anymore, so that nobody can slide this up and take your bike. When you're not using it, and when you do need it, you just put the key back in, turn it in place, then you can push that button again. You get two keys that come with it, so you can keep one in the glove box and put one on your key ring. Took it around the parking lot a little bit, didn't even know it was up there, so that's definitely a good thing, but that also reminds me to remind you that make sure you remember that it's up there when you're pulling in your garage or a low clearance area. You don't want to accidentally take out your bike that it's on the roof, because you're not even gonna know it's there. There was no noise for the wind. We went over bumps and everything. The bike was nice and steady. It didn't look like it was gonna go anywhere, so I know it's gonna stay up there, but a key thing is to remember that it's up there when you're going around your normal routine. With the bike removed, I can show you a little bit more what the rack looks like. When the wheel hook's not in use, it just folds up over here. So it's a nice, sleek design, low profile, so if you don't wanna take it off and leave it on your roof, you can, it's no big deal. That's a black powder coat finish, so it's gonna be resistant to the elements and rust and corrosion, so when you do leave it up here, you don't have to worry about the rain or anything bothering it on your roof. Another thing I said earlier, I just wanted to show you clearer, is that this is how the trays slide along here. That way it adjusts to different wheelbases, so it's really easy to move. I like that. Again, you don't need a tool for this. You don't have to tighten it down. It just slides wherever you need it to. You can adjust it that way. Another good thing about this bike rack is it comes already included with fat tire bike straps. So you can replace your existing ones. That way you can throw your fat tire bike up there. But do remember that the weight capacity for this bike rack is 45 pounds. So make sure you don't load up any more than that. Something else to help with that clearance, that low profile, is you can fold down the cradle like this, giving you way more clearance up here. And while we're in the area of the wheels, I did want to say that it will accommodate wheel diameters from 20 to 29 inches. Something I recommend doing is putting the Raceway up on your roof bars and seeing how far these bolts come down. You might have to switch them out. They do give you the alternative bolts to put in there. You can see these aren't long enough. We're not gonna be able to put our plates underneath, so we're gonna have to take this apart and replace the bolts. Loosening these screws up top, on the top assembly, we were able to take this apart, and this is where you drop the bolts in. So now I put 3 of the longer bolts in there, and just to show you what we replaced, this was the original bolt. You can see that's how we needed that little bit extra just to get that to go around our crossbars. So now I'm going to install the last long one here and then put it all back together. Here at the back, we did the same thing, replacing the shorter bolts with these longer ones. All we did was remove these screws from the end. Then you can just slide that off. We slid this out, replace the bolts, put it back on, and now I'm going to reattach it there. The bike rack set in place, put this plate underneath, match it up with the bolts. These long ones work way better. You can see far easier. You just add our hand knobs in there next. I like that there's no tools involved in this, so you can easily just start threading this on. And you don't have to get an extra tool or worry about scratching your roof with that extra tool. It's pretty helpful and easy. That way you can take off the bike rack when you don't want it on there and reinstall it when you do need it. You get this nice and tight and do the same thing up front with the other 4. With everything tightened down, we can go ahead and add our bike. Now, we put this on the passenger side of the vehicle just because it's easier to reach that arm here on this side, because if you were on the driver's side, you'd put the bike on and then the arm would be behind the bike. This side's just far easier to load because I can easily reach that, set it out of the way, and then go get my bike. Just come back with my bike, get it in the groove right there. Now let's bring the arm up and bring it down on our tire. Get a couple clicks out of there. That's gonna help to hold that up. That way you don't have to hold it with one hand. Then we're gonna come back here and adjust our wheelbase. Looks like that's gonna be better there. Now we can get it around the tire. Just come here, roll our tire over just a little bit, and strap it in. Make sure you get this part lined up with the tire. That way it doesn't scratch the frame at all. There we go. That's holding down there nicely. And we'll do the same thing up front. It's that easy to get your bike installed and even put the bike rack on your roof rack. You see how nice and tight it's on there still. Shaking the whole vehicle back and forth. There's not a lot of movement with the bike, so you can be sure that it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to stay up there on your roof. Well, I think that does it. Thanks for hanging out and hope this helped.